Hi everyone, I'm here with this week's happiness strategy. I'm following the same format as last week by request, and I'm reading aloud our weekly featured article. Every week I write an article that I share on empowered living on my website, and I also share it out to Thrive Global. I share the article and video out on my weekly newsletter that I send out every Thursday morning. It's called M's Inspiration, and I also include other resources and tips and articles in that newsletter that goes out. If you aren't already subscribed, you can get the details for that in the link that I'll post below this video. So this week's featured article is called 3 Ways to Stop Overcomplicating Your Life. Do you dream of having more ease and peace in your life? Would you like to enjoy your full life without feeling like you're constantly under pressure? Life can be a balancing act. When one area of life feels out of control, it affects our overall quality of living. When life feels complicated at every turn, it's challenging to find our way back to being balanced and grounded. One thing is certain. Feeling overwhelmed is a definite sign it's time to simplify our lives. A less is more mindset goes a long way towards living a more joyful, balanced lifestyle. Here are the 3 reminders I regularly use to stop overcomplicating my life. These practices help me enjoy the day before me instead of dreading the moments in the day. Next time you feel overwhelmed, give them a try and see what shifts for you. Number 1, reduce the stress. I don't know about you, but I'm grateful to lead a full life. Sometimes I catch myself though. I still need reminders to stop making life more complicated than necessary. My husband and I each run our own business. We're also raising 2 sports-crazed sons who both play hockey and baseball. Our eldest son plays competitive hockey. It's a true Canadian thing. We spend a lot of time traveling to different arenas during hockey season. Hockey is a lifestyle we embrace. On one of our out-of-town hockey tournaments, my son and I traveled with another player and his dad, Barry. Barry has a pleasant demeanor that makes him easy to be around. From the moment we hopped in his truck with all of our gear, Barry set the tone and intention for the whole weekend. He let us know our initiative for the weekend was to reduce the stress. That's exactly what we did. We arrived at the ferry terminal with lots of time to spare. We left early for all of the games, so it didn't matter if we got caught up in city traffic or not. We were never running behind. We laughed a lot and turned Barry's reduce the stress initiative into a fun game. We set out to make choices that made our weekend less stressful and more enjoyable. It worked. I share this story as a simple example of how we can implement a reduce the stress mindset in our everyday life and choices. Nobody is making us feel stressed or calm. We feel how we feel through our moment-to-moment choices. Here are some easy ideas to adopt a reduce the stress mindset. A, change how we view multitasking. Multitasking doesn't simplify our lives. It makes the moments we are in feel busier than necessary. B, focus on doing one thing at a time from start to finish. This approach is much kinder on our nervous system and mindset. When we focus, we tend to the important stuff first. With completion comes clarity. Clarity helps us see what we can let go of. C, stop trying to do too many things in a short amount of time. Instead, allow yourself to have more space and time. Simplify your blocks of time by doing less with more focus. This tactic will help reduce the frantic feeling of being rushed and always behind. D, make conscious choices that will create space, not add more stress. Give yourself a grace period when responding to other people's requests for your time. Get into the habit of letting others know you'll get back to them. Then consider your big picture and respond accordingly. Other people aren't to blame if we are overscheduled. Sometimes we simply need to practice getting more comfortable saying no. Getting used to saying no is a much better alternative than being overwhelmed from saying yes too often. Be protective. It's up to each of us to protect our state of being. We can't control what happens in our external world, but we can choose to be protective and mindful of how we choose to respond to life. See what changes when you adopt a stricter policy for what you allow to influence your experience of life. What I mean is, each of us shapes our experience of life by how we choose to consume and engage on a moment-to-moment basis. That includes the conversations we decide to take part in. It involves the people we allow into our lives and how we decide to perceive them. Here's the thing, we don't have to make room in our lives for challenging people or experiences that don't feel good. We make our lives simpler when we A, use and trust our feeling as a guide to simplify and shift gears, B, change the way we perceive challenging people and circumstances. We can adopt a lighter perspective by thinking about the 3 qualities we admire in the person. We can feel gratitude for the 3 blessings we've received from the circumstance. Our perspective is powerful. We are in charge of how we disperse the power. C, create and stick to healthy boundaries. Don't keep people in your life who are repeat offenders. If you consistently don't feel good around someone who doesn't respect your boundaries, give yourself permission to choose differently. Excuse yourself or stop engaging. Again, this comes down to trusting your feelings as a guide. We set the standard for how others will treat us. We can empower ourselves and teach others around us by setting clear, healthy boundaries and standards. The 3rd way is to take initiative. If life feels overwhelming and complicated, take initiative to slow down. Chaos can be addicting. So can the rush of flying by the seat of our pants. Burnout is a real thing. It's also preventable. There is a healthier way of getting our need for adventure met. When we are caught in a cycle of overwhelm, we are usually ignoring our inner truth. When we are off balance, our inner wisdom and voice is screaming at us for a change. Our inner guide has a way of sending out SOS signals. These signals translate through how we feel emotionally and physically. When we are emotionally and physically exhausted, we shouldn't keep on keeping on. Trust your feelings as your best signal and resource to know when it's time to slow down, regroup, and make a change. Life is what we make of it. We can spend all of our moments in chaos and overwhelm. We can also consciously choose to tune inward more often, reduce the stress as a lifestyle, and get comfortable protecting the quality of our adventure. What about you? How will you choose to travel on your amazing journey? So that's this week's article, and I invite everyone to try this on, and even if it's just 1 or 2 of the ideas presented, to see yourself as powerful and as resourceful and as being in charge of the quality of your life. I think it is really important to tune in and to use our feelings. If we aren't feeling good consistently or even on a moment-to-moment basis, that's our sign that we need to tune in and get clear and to make some changes towards having a more quality experience of life. So it really is up to each of us, and I'm trusting that if you're here, watching these videos, that you do see yourself as resourceful and as accountable for creating your own happiness. So this week, whatever you get up to, I just invite you to consider trying on the reducing the stress mindset and just stop perpetuating that cycle of overwhelm or of making things harder than they need to be. Life can be much smoother and enjoyable when we make it smoother and more enjoyable. And being open to more of those experiences. So thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Have a great week. Thank you.